Hey, what's happening, YouTube? It is Mike from the Hardcover Comic, and today I'm going to be chopping up some books for a future custom bind here. Sort of a take two. A couple nights ago, Matt and I were live streaming, and we tried doing this, and due to my audio mess ups, I was not able to capture Matt's audio, and so it was a one-sided conversation of me just talking. So I figured I would also do another one since I enjoyed it. It's a nice calm Saturday today, so got some spare time to cut up some books. Today I am cutting up Pestilence. I'm cutting up two miniseries. It's basically it's from Aftershock Comics. They released the series called Pestilence, and then I think it was maybe like a year later there was a second part, Pestilence: A Story of Satan. So just really just doing those two books together. I thought there was going to be maybe a third part or something. Turns out there isn't going to be. I saw that Aftershock is putting out their own official collection. So I figured I would get mine ready. I do also have another Aftershock book, A Walk Through Hell, that I plan on doing. But anyway, story is pretty good. It's written by Frank Thierry, artwork by Oleg. I always mess up his last name, Okunev. Hadn't heard of his name before. I enjoyed his artwork. It definitely suited the book. It reminded me of, sort of like a Hellboy style. It was good. It was good. Very action-oriented series. It did have to do with some. It's if you like conspiracies, it's kind of cool because it's a story about vampires, and essentially within the story we find out, we follow this group called the Fiat Lux, and we're following their journey to cleanse this, to find the cure, and how that relates to the Vatican and the Church. The story obviously takes place during the Crusades and whatnot, but what I enjoyed about it a lot was, again, the conspiracy part of it, getting the Catholic Church involved and all that. It makes it more enjoyable for me. There was a lot of action, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of graphic content. This is definitely a book for adults. The artwork, like I said, it was different from what I was expecting, but I really enjoyed it. Very energetic. And yeah, basically just taking off the back covers now and the ads, just thinning up the book a little bit, show you guys a little bit of the artwork here. It's pretty exciting. The thing about Aftershock Comics is they don't have any ads really inside the book, so there's nothing to rip out, and this is clearly an adult book. There's nudity in it and whatnot, so I apologize if you weren't expecting that. I'm going to try not to give too much away either. No camera bump there. Try not to give away too much either, because with ripping out the back pages, you're going to see some of the last panels, right? You're going to see the last page a little bit, so I'm trying to cover that up with my left hand here as I go along. The other thing about these Aftershock books is they, again, really, aside from the back covers, there's not much to take out, so it makes it a pretty simple process. It's unfortunate that sometimes, you have to spoil a book for yourself. But I don't have too many other books that I'm really ready to chop up now. I'm following a lot of series. I just recently published my top 5 of the year from the series that I've been reading anyway. Show you guys a little more artwork here. But a lot of the series I'm reading are still ongoing. There's nothing yet to bind. With Valiant, there may be at times, since you never know when a series is going to end, and they usually don't run too long. There's another thing Matt and I were talking about. I'm not sure if it got caught. But yeah, I like doing this. It's, it helps you keep a calm mind, think about things. Just thinking about, my wish list for Christmas now and what I might be putting on it. I don't want to be too greedy. There are a lot of books that I want, and it's sort of a slow game for me now. I'm really honestly, oddly enough, looking forward to the Absolute Dark Knight 3. I personally did not mind the story all that much. I thought it was not bad. Having Brian Azzarello help Frank Miller was a big plus in my opinion. So it was a fairly coherent story, not as good as Dark Knight Returns, the original of the trilogy, but still great. I thought the artwork was fantastic. I highly enjoyed it. I believe it's Andy Kubert or Adam, I forget, but either way, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I will definitely enjoy it in Absolute Edition, rereading that story. Overall, though, I've noticed most of my buying tendencies have moved over to, getting custom binds. So just following stories on a monthly basis, hopefully, with whatever money I put towards these series, hopefully they can, keep going. I know I'm a drop in the lake, but whatever I can do, if anyone's wondering why I collect floppies at all, when it's obviously cheaper to get trade paperbacks, you can still bind them. It's all true. But I want to do my part, not only supporting my local shop, but supporting these series as they're coming out to keep them going. I hate it when, series come to a short conclusion or they get cut short. All New X Factor for me will always be a bit of a disappointment for that reason. I loved the series, but it just clearly got cut short real fast. So some of the stuff you might be seeing here, there are these like bonus pages that I'm not necessarily sure what to do with, because they've got I guess it's just 2 extra pages. I may as well add them in, but I also do like making the book as thin as possible, so I'll see what I do about this. Yeah. Tough choice. We'll see. Maybe I'll add it to the end, because I noticed the first issue of the first story also had a couple, making of pages, some bonus content. But yeah, so Absolute Dark Knight 3, Animal Man by Jeff Lemire. There are for the most part, a lot of Image hardcover deluxes that I do want. There's Paper Girls Volume 2, which I initially wanted to get, but, until I get a confirmation on Volume 3, I'm a bit on the fence about it. Wicked and Divine, Lazarus Volume 3. I think there were a couple other books that I'm just blanking on right now, but Absolute Dark Knight would be awesome. Animal Man by Jeff Lemire would be fantastic as well. But my list getting fairly small nowadays. I think Batman Black and White comes out sometime before Christmas rolls around. So there are a few books, but patience. In terms of next year, while we're on the topic of binds, I'm very excited for next year. There are a few series starting out with Valiant. On this whole topic, it's tough deciding where to put your money with these monthly books, and I know I can't really talk to Matt about this because he doesn't do the monthly book thing, but it's tough because there are so many series, and then there's all these things to consider, right? Like with most Image books, you have to think about, will it get a deluxe someday? You can start getting deeper into that rabbit hole, thinking, will that deluxe get a second volume and all that stuff? But there are certain writers, get like a story like Gideon Falls, right? Very critically acclaimed. I've read a few issues, phenomenal, great book. I really enjoyed the issues that I read. But it's like Jeff Lemire. Most of his books, from what I'm aware of, especially, Descender, which was highly successful, highly critically acclaimed, that got hardcovers. So I just figured, we'll see a hardcover for Gideon Falls as well, right? So there's all these things to consider, but at the same time, I don't know. I have these, I guess, weird things that I like. I love the paper quality of the Image floppies. I don't know why. Something about it. It's very nice. I also try to get books, again, that are a little on the fringes, because I know that, Marvel and DC books, the biggest ones like Batman and stuff, will likely get hardcovers, omnibuses, all that. But it's a very tough decision making process. Let me know what you guys do to decide what monthly books you're reading. If you even have the intention of binding them, even better. But I'm about to wrap up here, guys. I got Pestilence all done up. I've got a whole bunch of extra ad pages I can use for covering up some short boxes here. I got to move the bonus content in the back, and then I'm going to slap some backboards on both sides of this pile and just elastic band it and send it out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. Much love. As always, until next time, you stay classy, Internet.